Former President Trump says he's been ordered to appear at the federal courthouse in Miami on Tuesday. What do we expect to happen that day, and how do we think these specific charges will be unsealed? Do we think that we will figure out what they are prior to that?
Before we get to that, let me tell you, Mr. Trump has just posted on his Truth Social that an aide of his, a man named Walt Nauta, has also been indicted in this case. No details, no confirmation. His name has come up in connection with alleged obstruction, perhaps, at Mar-a-Lago. This is a man who was a military valet at the White House. He came here to Florida with Mr. Trump when he left the White House. And again, his name has come up in the context of a number of things happening at Mar-a-Lago in terms of allegedly, perhaps, concealing obstruction. One of the charges that we believe Mr. Trump faces is a conspiracy charge. He may play into that. Again, we're still waiting for details about confirmation about that from the special counsel's office or the courts. The second thing I want to tell you about is that Mr. Trump now has new lawyers. His current lawyers, Trusty and John Rowley, have resigned, they say. They're both D.C. lawyers. They say that now that the case has moved here, they are ready to move on. It's unclear whether they are resigning or whether Mr. Trump is dismissing them following this indictment. And the last thing I want to mention to you is that the judge who will hear this case on Tuesday is Judge Aileen Cannon, whose name, if you recall, she was the judge who played a big role in this case in the beginning when there were efforts underway by investigators to get a subpoena and to gather documents and so forth. She made a number of rulings that were very favorable to Mr. Trump that were later overturned by an appeals court. She is a judge who was appointed by Mr. Trump back in 2020, and she will be the first judge to hear the case, which we expect to be a very short, quick, procedural time where he will come in, perhaps make a plea, perhaps not, be told of the charges, and then the case will move on. But interesting that she will be the first judge to look at it. As I understand it, judges in cases like this are chosen randomly, but they're also chosen to handle a case if they've had some role in it before as well. So that may be why she has been selected, but it will raise a few eyebrows, certainly.
Well, Ron, President Biden took a question from NBC's Peter Alexander during a press conference yesterday where he asked Biden why Americans should trust the Department of Justice when the former president repeatedly attacks it. Take a listen to Biden's response.
Because you notice I have never once, not one single time, suggested to the Justice Department what they should do or not do relative to bringing a charge or not bringing a charge. I'm honest.
Ron, how is the White House reacting to all of this, and have we heard from anyone at the DOJ?
Well, that I think is it. President Biden, and as you heard, he is trying to distance himself from having any role in this at all, because obviously this is such a high-profile and explosively political time. So he is trying to distance himself from that. The DOJ, we also have not heard from yet. The indictment is sealed, and there are many, and especially Mr. Trump's supporters, who are asking the DOJ to say something to give more clarity, more justification for this unprecedented step.
All right, NBC News correspondent Ron Allen. Ron, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.